In a world full of noise, chaos, and constant distractions, there exists an ancient path, one that leads not to comfort, but to inner power, a path walked by warriors, emperors, and philosophers, the path of the Stoic. And if you listen closely, if you allow yourself to absorb this wisdom, you will walk away stronger, calmer, and more unshakable than ever before. Welcome to today's journey. Unshakable, Stoic wisdom for emotional strength. This is not just another motivational video. This is a guide for those who want to master themselves, for those who are tired of being controlled by emotion, by fear, by doubt, by anger, by regret, for those who want to be in command of their minds, their hearts, their purpose. Let's go deep. 1. Control what you can, ignore what you can't. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Every day you're surrounded by things outside your control, people's opinions, the weather, the news, outcomes, events. But Stoicism teaches that your peace, your clarity, your strength come from one simple realization. You only control your response. Think about that. You don't control the storm, but you control whether you panic or persevere. You don't control other people, but you control how you treat them. You don't control outcomes, but you control your effort. This isn't weakness, it's the deepest power you can have. Because once you stop wasting energy on things you can't control, you start channeling that power into building something indestructible inside you. So next time you're caught in traffic, betrayed, insulted, or overlooked, breathe. Ask yourself, what part of this do I control? Focus there. Let the rest go. 2. Embrace discomfort. If you seek tranquility, do less. But do what's essential. Do it well. Comfort has made us weak. We avoid what's hard. We hide from pain. But the Stoics, they ran toward discomfort because they knew that comfort is a slow death. They practiced voluntary discomfort, sleeping on the floor, fasting, walking barefoot. Why? So they would not fear hardship when it came. Ask yourself, are you willing to be uncomfortable in the short term to build long-term strength? Every time you choose discipline over laziness, truth over ego, growth over safety, you become a little more unshakable. Comfort breeds dependence. Discomfort breeds strength. 3. Train your mind daily. The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. What you feed your mind determines your life. You must train your mind like a warrior trains their body. You must become aware of what thoughts you allow in and which ones you must reject. Wake up early. Journal. Read wisdom. Reflect. Question your impulses. This is mental discipline. The Stoics weren't born calm, rational, or wise. They trained themselves to become that way. Just like you can. Practice gratitude. Not because life is easy, but because you can choose your perspective. Say, I am not a victim. I am the observer. I choose my response. Do this every day, and one day, the world won't shake you anymore. 4. Negative visualization. He robs present ills of their power who has perceived their coming beforehand. Imagine the worst, not to scare yourself, but to prepare yourself. What if you lost your job? What if the person you love left you? What if tomorrow everything changed? The Stoics called this premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evil. By imagining what could go wrong, they made peace with it before it happened. This doesn't make you pessimistic. It makes you unbreakable. Because when you've already faced the worst in your mind, you meet reality with calm, clarity, and courage. 5. Don't be controlled by emotions. We suffer more in imagination than in reality. Anger, fear, jealousy, panic, guilt. These emotions rise like storms, but the Stoic doesn't chase them. The Stoic watches them, breathes through them, questions them. Emotions are messengers, not masters. Feel them. Don't fight them, but don't obey them either. A calm mind makes better decisions. A still soul has greater strength. Next time you're angry, pause. Say, is this useful? Next time you're afraid, is this true? You are not your emotions. You are the space in which they rise and in which they can pass. 6. Memento mori. Remember you will die. You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do and say and think. We fear death, but the Stoic uses it as fuel. Memento mori. Remember death. Not to be morbid, but to wake up, to remind yourself that life is short, that time is not promised. So why waste it worrying? Why waste it angry? Why delay what matters? If today were your last, would you still complain? Would you still be afraid? Or would you finally live? Use it. Let it sharpen your focus. Let it silence your ego. Let it inspire action. Every moment is a gift. Use it well. 7. Live with virtue, not pleasure. Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. Marcus Aurelius. The Stoics didn't chase pleasure. They chased virtue, courage, justice, wisdom, temperance. This is the foundation of emotional strength, living in alignment with your values. When you choose virtue over vanity, purpose over popularity, principles over pleasure, you become powerful, not flashy, not loud, but grounded, solid, trustworthy, true. That's what strength really is. And it's always available to you, right now, through your choices. 8. Become the unbreakable one. Stand upright, speak thy thoughts, declare the truth thou hast, that all may share. Be bold, proclaim it everywhere. They only live who dare. Seneca adapted. Now, as you step out of this video and back into your life, take this with you. You are not a leaf in the storm. You are the storm. You are not here to be tossed by circumstance. You are here to rise, to lead, to endure. Be calm in chaos. Be still in stress. Be firm in fire. You are the Stoic. You are unshakable. 9. Your favorite season. The warm embrace of someone you love. Even the very challenge that feels endless today. All of it will pass. But here's the secret Marcus Aurelius understood. Impermanence is not a tragedy. It's a gift. Because when you realize nothing lasts forever, you stop clinging and start living. Marcus Aurelius, Emperor of Rome, wrote in his Meditations, "Loss is nothing else but change, and change is nature's delight." Think about that. We're wired to resist change, to fight it, to grieve when it comes. But Marcus saw change as part of the universe's design, not as a flaw. Why this matters for thoughtfulness and self-discipline. When you accept impermanence, you stop wasting energy wishing things would stay the same. You direct that energy toward acting well now. For Marcus, this meant not taking victory or loss too seriously. As emperor, he watched close allies die, political landscapes shift, enemies turn into friends and friends into enemies. Nothing stayed the same, not even the self. The Stoic approach says, if we embrace change as natural, we prepare ourselves to meet it with calm, not panic. Let's step forward in time to 2005. Steve Jobs, the visionary behind Apple, was giving his now famous Stanford commencement speech. In it, he said, "Remembering that I'll be dead soon is the most important tool I've ever encountered to help me make the big choices in life." Jobs knew his life and all our lives are temporary, and instead of fearing that truth, he used it as a compass. It made him ruthless in cutting out the meaningless and courageous in taking creative risks. The Stoics had a phrase for this mindset: memento mori, remember that you will die. Not to be morbid, but to keep your priorities straight. Close your eyes for a moment. Think of 3 things you're grateful for right now. They could be as simple as your morning coffee, a friend's smile, or a song you love. Now acknowledge this. Each of these moments is temporary. You may never have them in exactly the same way again. How does that change the way you feel about them? Does it sharpen the sweetness? Does it make you want to cherish them more deeply? This is the gift of impermanence. It turns the ordinary into the precious. Here's the common trap. When people hear accept impermanence, they think it means giving up, letting life roll over them. But the Stoics meant the opposite. When you accept change, you stop fighting battles you can't win. Like trying to freeze time, you act in the moment because you understand it's the only place your life actually exists. You savor joy without clinging, and you endure pain without believing it will last forever. Marcus's own reign was a lesson in impermanence. He led Rome through wars, plagues, and personal loss. But because he expected change, he met it with a steady mind. Ask yourself, what in your life are you clinging to right now? And if you loosened your grip, not by neglecting it, but by loving it without needing it to last, how would you live differently? Because if change is certain, the question becomes, how will you act within that change? That's where our next principle takes us, to the Stoics' highest virtue, justice.